After almost a decade's absence, the Fiat Tipo station wagon marks the Italian brand's return to the estate car market. A 5-door estate version of the new Fiat Tipo hatchback, the station wagon is one of 3 body styles offered, although the 4-door saloon is not yet confirmed for the UK. While Fiat's resurrected the Tipo name, the original model was only available as a hatchback. This car is, in effect, a delayed replacement for the Stilo multi-wagon that went off sale back in 2007. It faces stiff competition in the lower medium segment, with a diverse range of established rivals including the Ford Focus estate, Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer and Volkswagen Golf estate, as well as competitive alternatives in the forms of the Peugeot 308 SW, Renault Megane Sport Tourer and Skoda Octavia estate. Comfortable, spacious estate built at Fiat's plant in Turkey, the Tipo station wagon looks more like a stretched version of the hatchback rather than a purpose-designed lowrider, ditching the utilitarian styling of some rivals. Save for a few interesting details, particularly the graphics within the headlamps and the grille treatment, it's an unadventurous design. The station wagon doesn't even get unique taillights, sharing the boomerang-shaped lamps with the hatchback. The passenger compartment of the Tipo station wagon mirrors that of the hatchback, which is to say it's roomy, but the center rear passenger gets a bit of a raw deal with a narrower, firmer seat. As for the boot, there's 550 liters of space with the rear seats in place. Not only do they split and fold for longer loads, the seat base also rises out of the way to help create a completely flat floor, not something many competitor estates offer. Ride quality feels comparable to the hatchbacks, which is to say it's good rather than exceptional, despite Fiat extolling the virtues of its variable rate dampers. Just don't expect the driving experience to be one that sates your inner enthusiast. Efficient petrol and diesel engine range mirroring the hatchback, there will be 5 engines for the Fiat Tipo station wagon range, including 3 petrols and a pair of diesels. None are particularly quick, the most powerful 2 in the lineup only produce a meek 118 bhp. Not that you're likely to buy a mid-sized family estate specifically with speed in mind, but the quickest 1.4-litre T-Jet petrol is the only one to crack the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint with a sub-10 second time. Most buyers are expected to plump for a diesel to maximize efficiency, with the 1.6-litre Multijet 2 version offering adequate performance as well as the lowest emissions at 98 grams/km of CO2. All Tipo station wagons have 6-speed manual gearboxes save for the automatic only 1.6-litre 8-torque petrol and an optional twin-clutch automatic, called DDCT, for the larger diesel motor. Inexpensive to buy, generously appointed the Tipo station wagon will be sold in 3 trim levels, called Easy, Easy Plus and Lounge. All station wagons come with DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity and aircon as standard, with prices for the 2016 launch starting at sub-14,000. Many of the interior plastics feel of lower quality than rivals in this segment as there's a relentless push-up market for competitor brands, but nevertheless the Tipo's cabin doesn't feel either cheap or nasty. Our early build test example was blighted with a few annoying rattles, though, including a retractable luggage cover which refused to sit quietly. Read the full Fiat Tipo station wagon review to discover how effective the new estate is. Pair of diesels expected to sell best 3 petrols on offer. 2 performance is modest with all engine choices to avoid disappointment. Expect Fiat Tipo station wagon performance to be no more than satisfactory. In fairness, this estate's not designed for hustling along B roads at considerable speed, but the 118 bhp motors will do a better job of hauling the Tipo and its payload along. Engine availability mirrors that of the hatchback range with near identical performance and efficiency figures. Most station wagons expected to be diesel. There are 2 diesels on offer, but the smaller 1.3-litre Multijet 2S likely to have a harder time coping with the Tipo station wagon's heft, fully laden or otherwise. It has a 6-speed manual transmission as standard, producing just 94 bhp and 200 Nm of torque from a lowly 1,500 revolutions per minute. Fiat claims a top speed of 112 miles per hour and a leisurely 12.3 seconds to complete the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint. Despite the extra weight of the Tipo station wagon's longer rear end, about 15 kilograms more than the hatchback depending on the version, Fiat claims efficiency figures and inferior at 76.3 miles per gallon and 99 grams/km of CO2. We much prefer the 1.6-litre Multijet 2, which has performance that's easier to access, thanks to 118 bhp and 320 Nm of torque on stream from 1,750 revolutions per minute. A top speed of 124 miles per hour is within reach, while the dash from 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 10.1 seconds. Again, quoted economy matches the hatchback equivalent with claims of 76.3 miles per gallon and 98 grams/km of CO2. If you don't fancy the 6-speed manual, there's a twin-clutch automatic alternative, known as DDCT, but official statistics have yet to be released for this version. Range of 3 petrol engines. Kicking off the petrol range is the 1.4-litre non-turbo, producing a measly 94 bhp and just 127 Nm of torque from 4,500 revolutions per minute. That's a lot of revving of the engine and stirring of the 6-speed manual gear lever to make the most of the grunt available. Official performance figures suggest a top speed of 115 miles per hour with a dawdling 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 12.3 seconds. On paper it's reasonably efficient, though, with claims of 49.6 miles per gallon and 132 grams/km of CO2 emissions. Fleshing out the Tipo station wagon's petrol range is the 6-speed automatic only 1.6-litre e-torque, generating 108 bhp and 152 Nm of torque, also from 4,500 revolutions per minute. Theoretically that's good enough for a top speed of 119 miles per hour and a 0 to 62 miles per hour acceleration time of 11.7 seconds. That automatic transmission hurts overall efficiency, with Fiat posting claims of 44.8 miles per gallon and 147 grams/km of CO2, making it the worst in the lineup. Briskest of the Tipo station wagon family is the turbocharged 1.4-litre T-Jet, mustering 118 bhp and 215 Nm at a much less frenzied 2,500 revolutions per minute, although it and the 6-speed manual gearbox need plenty of work to extract the available performance. This version has a top speed of 124 miles per hour, while the 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 9.8 seconds makes it the only estate Tipo to dip below the 10-second threshold. Officially it manages an average of 47.1 miles per gallon with CO2 emissions of 139 grams/km. Tipo station wagon's comfort is vaunted by Fiat. Light feeling steering doesn't stir enthusiasm, feels Euro-generic rather than typically Italian. If you hanker after a time when Italian cars were renowned for being agile handlers, then the Fiat Tipo station wagon won't be a nostalgia trip. There's none of the brio Fiat was once famed for when driving this car. Instead, it's an ordinary, comfort-biased estate. This in itself isn't a negative quality, but it's best to keep expectations in check. Although Fiat states it has made significant efforts to make the steering more feelsome to sate keener drivers, it won't offer your palms the same degree of communication as you would experience in a Ford Focus Estate or Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer. There's a lightness to the steering action which makes it easy to maneuver around town, but it feels insipid on windier back roads. Thankfully, the Comfort Focus is largely successful, with minimal body roll as the Tipo station wagon's threaded along a series of challenging bends. That said, it's not quite as game-changing as Fiat would have you believe. The firm has fitted the Tipo with variable rate dampers, which should mean that they adapt depending upon speed and road conditions, but in reality it feels a bit too soft and wallowy over rutted and undulating surfaces, making the car unsettled. On billiard table smooth motorways, which are more likely to be the Tipo station wagon's stomping ground, it is fine, proving to be a capable cruiser. Interior presents no surprises. Logically sighted controls, cheaper plastics dotted about. In all likelihood most people won't remember the original Fiat Tipo's dashboard with its futuristic electronic displays and minimalist switchgear. By comparison, the Fiat Tipo station wagon's facer is disappointingly ordinary and is shared in its entirety with the hatchback version. Everything's sensibly sighted with easy-to-use controls that respond to inputs in a logical manner. The instrumentation is clear and unambiguous, although the digital speedographic between the main analog dials has an air of 1980s computer game about it. Fiat's done a decent job with its 7-inch Uconnect multimedia to ensure the sat-nav graphics are clear and the controls are suitably responsive when prodded, but we suspect the 5-inch version might be a bit more fiddly to use while driving. It's easy enough to find a comfortable driving position with a sensible degree of adjustment for reach and angle of the steering wheel, while all-round visibility is good, the extra rear side windows improving matters over the hatchback. Given the Tipo station wagon's price, you'd expect it to feel a little cheap compared with a Volkswagen Golf estate, but it doesn't feel significantly off the pace quality-wise. Fiat boasts of the Tipo station wagon's comfort. Interior is certainly spacious. Ride quality can be unsettled. Unusually bullish claims have been made about the Fiat Tipo station wagon's ride quality and overall comfort, but in truth it doesn't set new standards for the class. It's not uncomfortable, but it does become unsettled when driving across undulating or poorly surfaced roads. The variable rate suspension dampers appear to be out of sync with real-time conditions, ironing out the previous bump while you're on top of the next one. We've yet to test the car with a boot rammed with cargo, but it will carry up to 500 kilograms of payload. The Tipo station wagon's sensibly straight proportions liberate plenty of interior space, with ample legroom in the back for a 6-foot passenger to sit behind a driver of the same height. Where the cabin is let down is in terms of rear seat headroom. The bench itself is set much higher than the front seats, meaning if you're above average height your head could be rubbing against the roof lining. Middle berth passengers get a poorer deal overall, with a narrower, firmer seat that simply isn't as comfortable as the outer two positions. Considering the Tipo station wagon's low starting price, build quality isn't bad, although the plastics employed aren't in the same league as you'll experience in a Vauxhall Astra Sports Tourer, let alone a VW Golf estate. Aircon, DAB and Bluetooth standard across the range. Easy to understand tri-level model range. Easy, Easy Plus and Lounge specs. You can have your Fiat Tipo station wagon in 3 trims called Easy, Easy Plus and Lounge. Standard Fiat Tipo station wagon equipment. Considering how low the station wagon's pricing starts, even the entry-level Easy grade is well equipped with aircon, DAB radio and Bluetooth connectivity as part of the package. Additionally, you'll also find remote control central locking, all-round electric windows, steering wheel mounted controls for the infotainment system and roof rails. Progress to the Easy Plus station wagon, which Fiat expects to be the most popular spec of the 3, and the kit counts boosted to include 16-inch alloy wheels, LED day running lights, privacy glass for the back doors rearwards, parking sensors at the back and cruise control. Inside there's also the 5-inch Uconnect multimedia package and a leather finish for the steering wheel and knob. Plumped for the range-topping lounge version, and you'll benefit from an upgraded 7-inch Uconnect system with sat-nav and TomTom Live updates, automatic lights and wipers, a reversing camera and 17-inch alloy wheels. Optional Fiat Tipo station wagon accessories. A range of extra cost options can be specified for the Tipo station wagon to upgrade the equipment levels, although in the most part you would be better off simply buying the next trim level up. Entry-level Easy Tipo station wagons can be upspec'd with front fog lights, rear privacy glass, 16-inch alloy wheels, rear parking sensors and the 5-inch Uconnect infotainment system with sat-nav. Choose the mid-range Easy Plus Tipo station wagon and upgrade it with a reversing camera, sat-nav or a comfort pack bundle comprising of a rear armrest, climate control and a lumbar adjustment for the driver's seat. 2 further upgrades come by way of safety packs A and B. The former adds a speed limiter, emergency low-speed braking and adaptive cruise control, that latter function not part of the B package. Upgrades for the top-of-the-range lounge Tipo station wagon include the safety packs and full leather upholstery. Safety levels comparable to other cars in the class. No innovative new technology introduced. Optional adaptive cruise control works well. While no safety innovations have been ushered in with the Fiat Tipo station wagon, the firm expects it to score a full 5-star rating when it's crashed under the auspices of the experts at Euro NCAP, making it comparable to other models in the segment. Whichever specification of Tipo station wagon you opt for, it will come equipped with 6 airbags and a tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS, in addition to the usual raft of electronic stability software to minimize the chances of an accident before it happens. Further up the range, niceties such as automatic headlights and wipers, cruise control and LED day running lights are fitted as standard equipment. There is a pair of optional safety pack bundles that include an upgrade to include emergency automatic braking and adaptive cruise control that monitors the gap between the Tipo and the vehicle in front, adjusting the speed accordingly. Large boot adds to the practicality. Rear seats fold completely flat. Variable height boot floor is convenient, seeing as the whole point of estate cars is to be practical. The Fiat Tipo station wagon gets off to a good start courtesy of its 550-litre boot. As with its hatchback counterpart, it's not the biggest in the segment. The Skoda Octavia estate offers 590 litres, while the impressive Peugeot 308 SW will swallow 660 litres, but it's still large enough to accommodate most families' cargo. Fiat's yet to confirm the volume available with the rear seats folded, but we have observed a couple of handy features that boost the Tipo's flexibility. There's a variable height boot floor which can be rested at a 45-degree angle, useful for wedging shopping against the seat and stopping errant tins of beans rolling around in the boot. You can also fold the 60-40 split back seats flat and in line with the floor by lifting up the base part and flipping it towards the front seats before lowering the backrest. It's not a new idea, but it's one that many rivals no longer bother with. Loads of up to 1.8 meters in length can be accommodated with the seats folded. Previous generations of Fiat Estate have featured a split rear tailgate with a drop-down lower section to aid loading heavy items, but the Tipo station wagon doesn't have one. Neither can you release the seatbacks with levers in the boot, instead you have to use the buttons on the seats themselves. It does, however, feature 2 storage bins in the sides of the boot in addition to the 12 liters of cubby and storage space in the passenger compartment.